Hello again, and welcome to this session in which we're going to be looking at the minor key 2-5-1 progression in 7th chords, in the course of which we will be meeting our last variant of the 7th chord family. Let's begin by revising what we already know, that's to say the 1 chord and the 5 chord. The 1 chord is a minor 7th chord consisting of a root, a minor 3rd, a perfect 5th and a minor 7th. Here's our A minor 7 chord. And for the 5 chord we've been substituting a 5-7. That is a dominant 7th form with a root, major 3rd, perfect 5th and minor 7th in place of the 5 minor 7 chord, which would be formed by strict harmonisation of the natural minor scale. So our 5-1 progression consists of 5-7 followed by 1 minor 7. Now on to the 2 chord, returning one more time to our natural minor scale. We take notes 2, 4, 6 and 8. This gives us a minor 3rd, another minor 3rd, and then a major 3rd. That's minor 3rd, minor 3rd, major 3rd, giving us intervals from the chord root of a minor 3rd, a flattened or diminished 5th, and a minor 7th. So we have a chord with a minor 3rd, a flat 5th and a minor 7th, and we can describe this very simply as a minor 7 flat 5 chord. This is sometimes called a half diminished chord, but I'm going to be sticking to the term minor 7 flat 5 for the sake of clarity. You should nevertheless be aware that if you encounter a reference to a half diminished chord, it's this form of chord that's being referred to. In our example key of A minor, our 2 chord will be a B, so we're looking here at a B minor 7 flat 5. And here it is in a simple open position fingering. So now we have our 2-5-1 progression consisting of 2 minor flat 5, 5-7 and 1 minor 7. In our discussion on the minor flat 5 triad chord or diminished triad, I mentioned that in real life, in actual music, you're more likely to encounter the minor 7 flat 5 version than the minor flat 5 triad version of this chord. And this is convenient because there are some quite comfortable and convenient fingerings for the minor 7 flat 5 chord. So I'd like to take a little bit of time now and have a look at some of them. Let's begin with our example key of A minor, where our 2 chord is the B minor 7 flat 5 chord, playing here on just the top 4 strings, and if we look at the structure of this chord we can see we're playing it in the first inversion, where the lowest note is the 3rd of the chord, that's played on the open D string. Then we have the minor 7th, that's an A played with the 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Then the root is our open B string, and finally the flattened 5th, an F, played on string 1 with 1st finger, 1st fret. This is a nice simple fingering, just 2 fingers involved, 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then up 2 strings and down 1 fret to play 1st finger, 1st fret, 1st string. Now if we take this finger pattern and just move these 2 fingers down 2 strings and now play across all 6 strings, we have our E7 chord in root position. And then taking exactly the same finger pattern and moving it up 1 string and play the top 5 strings, and we have a root position A minor 7th chord. So the whole sequence is played with these 2 fingers in the same relationship, just moving across the strings. And this set of voicings can be easily adapted to bar chords. For example, if we wanted to play this progression in the key of D minor, we can bar at the 5th fret here with the 1st finger, and then using the 2nd and 3rd fingers in place of the 1st and 2nd fingers to fret the other 2 notes, we can have an E minor 7 flat 5 on the top 4 strings here. Move these fingers down 2 strings and play all 6 strings to get an A7 chord, and then up 1 string and play the top 5 strings to get our D minor 7 chord. So we have E minor 7 flat 5, A7, D minor 7, and here's our minor key 2-5-1 progression, easily playable in a single position and transposable to any key. To find a root position voicing for the minor 7 flat 5 chord with the root on string 4, we can model it on the D minor 7 flat 5, which is played very simply in the open position by playing the open D string and then simply fretting the top 3 strings with a single finger. This gives us root on the open string, our flat 5 here, our minor 7th here, and our minor 3rd here. And this voicing can be turned into a transposable fingering very, very easily. For example, if we play it here in A flat, we can play the A flat on string 4 and then use the 3rd finger to bar the top 3 strings. And there's our root position minor 7 flat 5 chord, transposable to any position. If we want to play a minor 7 flat 5 chord with the root on the 5th string, we can use another fairly simple fingering. Here we are playing a C sharp on string 5, and then we take finger 3 to play 1 fret and 1 string up. Finger 2 then plays up 1 string and down 1 fret, so it's now on the same fret as the 1st finger, and then the 4th finger goes on the next string up on the same fret as the 3rd finger, and we play just the middle 4 strings, making sure that the top and bottom strings are not sounding at all. And there's another comfortable and easily transposable fingering. For a version with the root on the lowest or 6th string, we can play the 6th string with our 2nd finger. Here it is playing a B flat, and in this instance this finger is also touching on the 5th string to mute or dampen it, so that this string is not going to sound in our chord when we strum the full chord. We then place the 3rd finger on the minor 7th on string 4 on the same fret. The 4th finger then goes on the next string up on the same fret to play the minor 3rd, and the 1st finger goes up 1 string and down 1 fret to play the flattened 5th on string 2, and at the same time this finger can be used to damp string 1, so that strings 5 and 1 are silent, and this chord is being played across strings 6, 4, 3 and 2, and there is our B flat minor 7 flat 5. Now you will have undoubtedly noticed that there's a distinct difference in tone between these different voicings of the same chord type, so there are often good musical reasons for choosing one voicing over another. It's not simply a matter of finding the easiest or most convenient fingering. For this reason you should try to master as many as possible voicings of all the chords, including the trickier fingerings. Now you'll find plentiful examples of different fingerings and different voicings in my own book, and indeed many other books. However, they're not exhaustive, and indeed I doubt that there is a single reference anywhere which will give you all the possible voicings for all possible chords, so you should devote a certain amount of your time to discovering and inventing new voicings and new inversions and new fingerings of chords for yourself. Well, we've now covered all the types of seventh chord. That's the major seventh, the minor seventh, dominant seventh and the minor 7 flat 5 chord. In the next video we're going to complete our set of chord progressions by adding the 6th chord to this set to give us the 6-2-5-1 progression in minor keys in 7th chords, and then take a little bit of time to review the complete harmonised scale in 7th chords before we move on to our next topic. So until then, take care of yourselves and keep on strumming.